Hello my fellow book addicts, Megan here, and time for another book review. Today I'm going to be talking about Wild Country by Anne Bishop, and this is book 7 in the Other series, or book 2 in the World of the Other series. And as of this moment, this is the last book in the series. As far as I know, there are no future plans for future books in this series, which makes me sad because this is a really fun series, it's a really enjoyable series, and you know, it's kind of sad to see it go. It's sad for me to let go. But then again, I'm like that with any and every series that I really enjoy, so yeah. Now this we are going a little back in time for. Lake Silence took place roughly a year after the events in, God, which one was it? Etched in Bone. I feel horrible. I am bad at remembering the series order. After book 2, I just looked it up to make sure my info was correct. It was Etched in Bone. So while that took place like a year or so after, this takes place during some of the events in Etched in Bone as well as a little bit after it. And we see a lot of more minor characters who are mentioned in one or two of the earlier books, such as Jana, the human woman who went to the police academy and is looking for a job as a police officer, and she went to the city of Bennett to become the human deputy in that town. And we also have more mentions of characters from the previous books as well. While Lake Silence was kind of like its own little thing, this is a little more of a continuation in my opinion. In fact, this is actually what I thought Lake Silence was going to be to a point, more of a continuation other than kind of its own little story. Not that I didn't like the fact that Lake Silence was its own little story. I really enjoyed Lake Silence, but it is nice to kind of see some more like direct effects, for lack of better words. But yeah, in here there's a little more connection between the other books in the series and this one than the other books and Lake Silence, in my opinion. Like I said, a big focus in this book is Jana, the human deputy of the town of Bennett, as well as the Wolfguard sheriff in that town as well. We also see Tolia. I am not saying his name right, but that's how it stuck to my head. We see him, we get plenty of mentions of characters from Lakeside. We see Barb and her shenanigans, and we meet a new plague rider like Tess, which was really cool. And it was cool seeing these like familiar names and faces popping up again. And it was cool seeing the effects of what happened in Lakeside with Meg and Cyrus, how far they reached, how quickly they happened, and just others' reactions to it. And just all around it was an enjoyable book. And I will say, just going off on me saying this might be the last one in the series, I am still very curious on the effects of Cyrus and his improper cutting techniques on Meg. How they affect her later on. It has affected her, like in the visions and her seeing things. Personally, as a reader, I think it would have been really cool to see like some of the longer term effects, if they'll wear off, how they'll affect her in the future. There's just so much potential for this world, and it's just so interesting to me, and I just want more. Probably not my favorite in the series, honestly. I couldn't tell you what my favorite in the series was, but I probably didn't enjoy this as much as I did with the first 5 books, with Meg and Simon and all them. Though, also with those books, I've had like 5 books to grow to love those characters, so that might just be bias talking. But yeah, this probably wasn't my favorite out of the series, but it was still greatly enjoyable. If you need more of this world, this is a must read. And I don't have much more I can say without risking spoilers. So if you have not finished this book or gotten this far in the series yet, highly suggest you click away now and come back after you catch up. So honestly, like I said, this probably wasn't my favorite out of the books. Honestly, some of the perspectives in this were more dull to me than others. As interesting as Abby's input was on things, I was just kind of like, I really don't care for you. And I found myself kind of rushing through her bits. I still read them. I didn't get bored enough to skim, but her parts I was just kind of about. Probably doesn't help that I didn't like Abby that much, just I could feel for her and the situation she grew up with, being an Intuit in a gang-like family. I mean, that is a pretty toxic environment to grow up in, and I felt for her, but how she lied to everyone and manipulated everyone, especially Kelly, I'm just like, I'm not cool with that. I know she probably felt she had no other choice and all that, but I couldn't make myself like her. And honestly, when she got shot, I was not sad at all. Honestly, I felt that was kind of what you get for lying and using people. Just, I hate people who use and manipulate people, so I'm just like, okay, I don't like you. And there probably wasn't anything she could have done to make me like her. I honestly wish we got a little more of Maddie, the Blood Prophet child that was brought to Bennett. Like, I wish we got a little more about her. If there are future books in the series, I hope we get more about her. Like, was she ever in a compound? Did she ever get training? Or did she happen to get born into a family that kept her hidden? Or was she taken from that family by someone outside the compounds? I'm just really curious. Because compared to, say, Meg and Hope, it doesn't feel like she got a lot of training. Or if any training at all. Or maybe she didn't get enough of it. I don't know. I really enjoyed Jana's character. I like spunky characters, be them men or women. Though I was facepalming quite a bit. Like, I understand she probably hasn't had a lot of contact with the others, with the Terra Indigene, but with how long it took her to kind of understand Virgil and Kane's, like, mindset, I kind of was facepalming a bit. Not necessarily in a bad way, of just kind of in a, oh my god, lady, open your mind, think. I really felt bad for Virgil and Kane and what they had to experience, the whole pack being wiped out, Virgil losing his mate and kid. It made my heart go out for him, and it definitely kind of added that extra little dimension to his character, added to his anger towards humans, and really helped kind of understand him a bit better. And him getting like all attached to Jana as like a pack mate, and like when she got hurt and him worrying about her, my heart just broke. Barb, her trusting, she was a little too trusting. That's the only way I can think of to describe her. Just knowing what Scythe was, being all like, oh, she's harmless, let's be friends. It's like, just because Tess wasn't threatening to you or mean to you, doesn't mean they all are. So I was just like, ew, cringe. You were gonna get yourself killed, lady. And I gotta say, Virgil's reaction to her, like, befriending Scythe, definitely not over the top. It's like, plague riders you don't mess with. And I do like the fact that we have another, like, named speaking role plague rider on the test, because it's just nice to get that variety. And I enjoyed Scythe. I liked her. I really did. Another reason I hope that there are more books in the future, not just to see like Meg and Lakeside's growth and like changes, but now Bennett's. Like, the town of Bennett just experienced this big showdown between the Blackstone clan and the others. Quite a few others were killed, several were injured and just maimed, and that trust between the humans of Bennett and the others definitely is going to have some tension in the future. That on top of Cyrus Montgomery's actions in Etched in Bone, there's going to be quite a bit of tension. Trust isn't going to be as strong as it once was, and just part of me wants to know how that like affects the future of this town. And that's probably me just being a selfish reader and wanting more and more and more. And honestly, I don't feel there's too much more I can say. I don't think there's anything else that I needed to talk about. Nothing that's coming to mind, at least. So, yeah, I'm just gonna leave it there. Anyone else who's still watching, what were your thoughts? What were your feelings? Let me know. Let's get a discussion going. So, yeah, that's it for this book review, and I hope to see you guys next time.